Ryan with Miss.Geek here with the sun in my eyes. There we go. And today we're looking at the antenna. The same antenna I've showed in other videos, but it's a little bit messed up. See, was it Wednesday night? We had a storm. Now, I usually leave my antenna up in storms because the worst that can happen is, well, usually the worst that can happen is that my jackknife pole collapses in on itself. You know, it's just a telescoping pole, and it untelescopes, which it did, no big deal. But when I came out to examine it, because the wind was just howling, I saw that was down. And then I thought, I'm going to take down the South Pole and the North Pole on different sides of my property that also hold up a bunch of wire. And that's when I found that so there was a problem, and I'll show it to you. This is the problem. So that's my antenna tuner. You can find that L-Match antenna tuner on my blog, miss.geek.com, and you can just search in the top right corner for L-Match or L-Match. And this is the problem. That piece of somebody's roof flew in here and totally took out my antenna wire. The other half of it is sitting right here, or the other segment of it. And now that pole there, I took down. That didn't get blown down or anything. That was still upright. But that's the $10. It's actually segments of two $10 eBay poles. One of them broke, and I combined the bottom of the other one to give it some more height. And it works really great. It's like 20 feet tall when it's on the tripod here. And that blue thing is just some water holding it down. But what really surprised me is right now this antenna is tuned for 20 meters because I was messing with my QCX Mini 20 meter radio. So it's tuned for 20, so in order to save myself the trouble, I also flipped over to JS8 call on 20 meters, and that's what was set up for. That's what it's set up for right now, actually. But what really surprised me was when I checked the JS8 call program on my computer, and I was seeing signals. Yeah, I was seeing a CQ from Whiskey Delta 9 Uniform India, I think, WD9UI, I believe, Gary, down in Southern California in Torrance. I was seeing signals from all over the U.S. In fact, let me show you what I was talking about. Take a look at the computer over the last couple days. We'll look at the JS8 call log and also at PSK Reporter. And perhaps you'll be as surprised as I am at how amazing JS8 call signals are, and I'm really FT8 too. But we're not hating FT8, but we're not doing FT8. So it's really incredible how well that antenna, even in its poor state, can't transmit it with it obviously, but even receiving that completely untuned. With just a few feet of wire, I'm picking up signals from all over the West Coast and really all over the states. So let's take a look. All right, so we're back in the shack now, and we're looking at my JS8 log. So I figured the antenna went down around 10 or 11 o'clock Wednesday night, which was about 5 or 6 a.m. on January 14th UTC. So I scrolled back in my JS8 log to that point. And of course, at night, 20 meters is dead, so I didn't really get anything until later on. And so, about 1,500 hours, which is, let me check my time thing here. That would have been about 7 a.m. my time, which is when the sun's coming up. So that sounds about right. Anyway, I'm getting all of these. Decodes, and I see there it is, WD9UI or WD9DUI. I should remember that. Calling CQ, see just all sorts of traffic, and I'm getting decodes from just all over. It's kind of hard to read this log, but what I thought I would do is KL2YK. Let's see. What else? VA4BN, So I think these are all on the West Coast where I am. KE7 Delta. But K0TER, that's a 0. I'm not sure. N2IX. Just going through the list here. So getting lots of decodes, and you can imagine that I was flabbergasted by this, because when that storm hit and I saw that my antenna was down, and I went and checked it and the wire was broke, I came into the shack and I was super tired. I was woke up from sleep. I came in and I unplugged the microphone jack from my digital interface so that it wouldn't transmit, and then I went back to bed. And I took down the poles. It's all back online now. But I took down the poles and I unplugged that, and then I came in, and it was heart beating all night into nothing. It wasn't transmitting. Didn't want to mess up my radio, because who knows what the SWR was. I didn't even check. Anyway, and the next morning I look at JS8 call, and I've got decodes from WD9DUI. And I about fell out of my chair. And then I looked at PSK Reporter, and this is PSK Reporter in the last 24 hours. And I got like one more decode after I put my antenna back online, but then I turned off JS8 call. So this is in the last 24 hours. And of course, unfortunately, PSK Reporter doesn't go further back than that. But I mean, look at all these decodes. This is KK4WJF in North Carolina. 2,300 miles away, and I picked him up at minus 22 dB. KL2YK in Alaska got him at minus 7 dB. Minus 21 if I zoom in here. Let's see. WD9DUI minus 15. KS6 NAZ minus 21. I mean, they're down in the depths of the noise, but that was on about a 6-foot antenna. Untuned. So these digital modes really are amazing, and JS8 is awesome. So if you have you might be worried, well, I don't have a very good antenna. Come on. Or somebody says, oh, that antenna is a compromised antenna. You need a resonant antenna. Now, I know this is just reception, and I know that transmitting wouldn't be that great, but I'll bet you I could transmit with a 10-foot antenna with a tuner on it if I could get it to resonate. Maybe I'll have to try it. But I'll bet you I could. I bet you I could transmit and get decodes and be decoded and have a QSO with maybe 10 or 20 feet of wire sitting on a fence. Because the digital modes allow you to do that kind of thing. And really, you can do that with CW too. People have been doing compromised antennas for years. So when you go to Facebook or groups.io or your local whatever, and you post about an antenna, and 99 people answer, oh, that's a terrible antenna. You should never do that. That won't work. Well, I got news for you. There are compromised antennas all over that are working just fine for their purpose. The whole point of a compromised antenna is sometimes you can't put up a perfect antenna. You can't put up a perfect dipole. You can't put up a beam and everything else. You do what you do. You do what you can with what you have. You use something that fits your circumstances. And yeah, it might not be great, but it'll get you on the air, and that's the point. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. I do appreciate it. If you've gotten this far, please do like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. So thanks for watching. 73. We'll see you next time.